Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of the Spartan Show for the week of October the 24th through the 28th, 2016. On today's show, we sit down with senior women's volleyball players Courtney, Chowning, and Heather Racine ahead of Wednesday night's volleyball senior night. Wrestlers Alan Mock and Tristan Wilson stop in to give us an update on early season practices and the upcoming black and gold wrestling scrimmage. And head women's soccer coach Christine Johnson and senior women's player Jessica Sanchez look back at their senior day and the final match of their season upcoming against Earlham College. Stay tuned.
Our first two guests on today's show are senior women's volleyball players Courtney Chowning and Heather Racine. Ladies, let's first look back a few moments at your last few matches. Heather, can you give us an update on how the team has performed the last few matches?
Well, we came off of 2 wins this weekend, which was exciting, and I think we're doing really well and in the place that we should be in to keep moving forward.
Well, congrats on those wins. And we were informed that you guys went to Chicago this weekend and got to explore a little bit of the city. Courtney, could you tell us a little bit about your experiences, what you enjoyed, what was your favorite part?
Well, it was about a 2-hour bus ride down there, and Coach surprised us by pulling up to the aquarium in Chicago, so that was pretty cool. We got to explore the aquarium as a team, and my favorite part was seeing the belugas. I've never seen a beluga before, so.
Cool. And the last question is for both of you. As we look forward to Wednesday night, this will be your final game here at Manchester University. What are your emotions like heading into this game?
I honestly haven't really thought about it being my last game here at Manchester University. I think my whole mindset has been focused on conference and preparing for those teams, but I'm sure once the day comes, it'll hit me and I'll cry and I'll be emotional. Yeah, I think I'm kind of in the same place as Courtney a little bit. I feel like more of the emotions might hit me in our actual last game ever. Like home game, it'll be a little bit emotional, but I think it'll really hit me when it's just like, that's it.
Sure. Well, congrats on some successful careers, and thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
It is now time to take a look at our weekly athletic highlight reels. Our first highlight segment of the week comes from the annual Primetime at the Perk event from last Thursday. The event, held annually as a kickoff to the start of the men's and women's basketball season, was the culmination of 3 sport management classes' efforts and hard work this year. The event was spotlighted by the introduction of the men's and women's basketball teams from 2016-2017, the crowd being led in the school fight song by MU President Dave McFadden, interactive fan contests, a dunk cam competition, and plenty of free giveaways.
Next up on today's show, we have junior wrestler Tristan Wilson and senior wrestler Alan Mock. Gentlemen, the team has been able to practice a few times so far in the last couple of weeks. What have been some thoughts you guys have had about practices so far?
Practice has been going pretty good so far. We have a pretty good group of guys who are putting in some hard work, and something that we're looking to showcase this Friday.
Okay, how are you, Tristan?
A lot of sprints.
That's the bad part, right?
A lot of sprints. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay, and Tristan, back to you. The black and gold scrimmage is coming up this week. Can you give us some details such about when it is, where it is, and so forth?
This is actually going to be something different than what we've ever done before. This is going to be outside. We have a meet outside in between Garver and the J.N. Switcher Center.
Okay.
It's going to be the 28th, so this Friday at 4:30.
Okay, and thank you. And Alan, as an athlete, what do you hope that you and your teammates get most out of the season?
Just to kind of get some of that first match nervousness out of the way, have people watching us, and it's something that we have some film on that we can look forward to improve on stuff for Wabash.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us, guys, and good luck.
Yep. Thank you.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to unveil this week's Spartan Show MVP of the week. This week we honored junior women's soccer midfielder Courtney Hersick. Hersick scored her second career hat trick last Wednesday, leading the black and gold to their second win of the year with a 7-2 rout of Defiance College. Hersick's output did not stop there, as she also chipped in an assist in the winning effort. Congratulations, Courtney.
Our final guests on today's show are women's soccer coach Christine Johnson and senior soccer player Jessica Sanchez. Coach, the team was able to pick up a big win against Defiance last week and then hung with a tough Mount St. Joseph team this past weekend. What do you take away from those matches?
We're just peaking at the right time. It's a talented group of players, and everything's starting to come together for us. And something I saw early on, and really the difference was kind of fitness, and we're getting fit now.
Sure. And Jessica, Saturday was senior day for you and Carrie Carpenter. Can you take a few moments just to reflect on the emotions that were running through you and wrap up your career here at Manchester?
I was very proud of the way we played. We definitely put in a lot of heart. The girls were asked to play for us, and they showed just the love they had for us, basically. we didn't get the score we wanted, but it definitely showed in the game that we were in there.
Coach, looking forward, you have one match remaining against Earlham. How do you prepare for a squad like Earlham and get ready to end the season on a high note?
I just think that we focus on what we do best, keeping possession of the ball, switching the point of attack, and attacking with numbers. And then just making sure that our defense stays solid. And I mean, I think if we do all of those things and execute that, then I think we'll walk out of there with a win.
Sure. Well, good luck at Earlham, and thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
Next up, we take a look back at our final highlights segment from last week, which comes from Senior Day 2016 for the men's and women's soccer programs. The women's program honored 2 individuals, Carrie Carpenter and Jessica Sanchez, while the men honored 7, Nino Arapi, Ola Ladapo, Colin Singer, Matthew Jordan, Chris Hosier, Colton Hawkins, and Chase Holford during the daytime doubleheader. As for the action on the pitch, the Manchester University squads battled hard, but both teams would fall with similar 3-1 score lines against the Mount St. Joseph University Lions. The women were led by Miranda Birmingham, who nabbed an open net goal, and the men were led by Samuel Tedekwarshi, who punched in a penalty kick in the first half. The men's soccer team will play again at home on Wednesday against Bluffton University at 3:30 p.m., while both teams will travel to Earlham College to wrap up their seasons on Saturday. Congratulations to the class of 2017. Now it's time to take a look at what is upcoming on the Manchester University athletic calendar this week. The men's soccer program will host Bluffton University at 3:30 p.m. on Wednesday, October the 26th for its final home match of the season. And the women's volleyball team will host Wright State Lake at 7 p.m. on Wednesday night for Senior Night 2016. On Saturday, the men's and women's swimming and diving teams will head to Franklin College for a 1 p.m. duel. The men's and women's cross country teams will compete in the 2016 HCAC Championships at Hanover College. The men's and women's soccer teams will finish their seasons at Earlham College with a doubleheader, with the women playing at 1 and the men playing at 3:30. The women's volleyball program also travels to Earlham College for a doubleheader, with Earlham at 1 p.m. and Boys College of Kentucky at 3 p.m. And the football program hosts Earlham College on Saturday for a 1:30 p.m. kickoff at Carl W. Burt Memorial Field. That's what's coming up this week in Manchester University athletics.
That is all we have now for this edition of Spartan Show. Make sure to stay up to date with all Manchester University stats, scores, and news by visiting www.muspartans.com. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week with another edition of Spartan Show.